first off, when we call the food chain a chain, we need to recognize that that chain is circular. It's not just a length of chain. It's how energy, essentially starting at the sun, is transferred all the way through from photosynthetic plants all the way to the top of the food chain, which would be your predators that are eating other animals. So, if you're at the top of the food chain, you might be a predator like a wolf or a lion or perhaps a person, and you can just follow. You ask what they eat, that would be the next step down in the food chain, and ask what they eat, that would be the next step down, and on down the line. And the same thing happens out here in the river.
Well, I think if algae disappeared, that it would topple the food chain. I think that there's a lot of species that depend on it as a primary producer for food, and then it would trickle its way up the food chain. So algae, it can be a problem, and some people see it as a problem, and especially as if it's in high concentrations. But I think it's an important part of the food web.
Appreciate it and put it right back down with its family is what I say. Because if we pick it up and we carry it away and we put it down somewhere else, it's going to be lost and it's not going to know where it was. So,
if the species became overpopulated, then you might have a reduction in algae. This would impact the organisms that depend on the algae. You might also see an increase in the predator. This might lead to initially to more fisheries production, which might be a good thing initially, but then a lot of times you have ecological feedbacks, and so there might be a lot of unintended consequences that you're not expecting.
Well, if there was a rapid increase in the bass, you would see pretty quick declines in the brim population and maybe the crawfish too, which would certainly cause your algae to bloom at the very bottom. Your fishermen might be very happy for a little while, but you may see a decrease in size because you would have more bass competing. They may end up being of smaller size.
Here in the southeast, aquatic critters evolved for millions of years without any humans around. They didn't show up until just the last couple tens of thousands of years. And humans are the top predator in the entire world. They're really efficient and good at catching stuff and eating it. They've got that opposable thumb, so they can make really good equipment, big nets, to catch fish. And the ecosystem has really never seen anything like humans until they showed up across the land bridge, like I said, about 20,000 years ago. And so they're just way too efficient predators. And to add to that, they are really good at manipulating the aquatic environment too. Beavers used to do it, and they still do it before humans got there, but now humans do it on a scale much bigger than beavers. And so with all the habitat alterations and the harvesting of fishes, the aquatic ecosystem doesn't do as good as it did before we showed up.
In much the same way, human beings and pretty much any species, take a tree for example, in much the same way any living thing operates, so operates the global system. So a tree is not just a tree. A tree is a system with bark, with a system for transporting nutrients, because it's a vascular organism, with leaves that capture sunlight, with a symbiotic relationship with soil and fungi that retain nutrients. They go to the roots. And so in much the same way you're talking about a bigger food chain, you can kind of look at a tree as a microcosm of that. So all are related because all need each other and would not exist without each other.